portion of it that is still standing, who, were obviously shaken awake. Were they rescued? Because I bet some of them couldn't get out. So did they have to be rescued from the, balconies or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, those are some of the people who were being rescued using the massive ladders from the fire truck, and that's where they were very useful. Still a very dangerous way to rescue people. A lot of the preliminary dispatch calls that were coming in, you were hearing the first responders or the person who called 911 concerned, saying, I can see that the building is gone and I see people standing on their balconies, and so that was the initial rescue that we saw happening. There was also a younger boy or a teen who was rescued from the rubble below. We heard someone a little bit earlier say that they heard someone calling out and they saw a hand moving, and that's what alerted them. And so, this is a really, really sad situation, but hopefully with the daylight and all of the resources that are there, they can quickly move in and possibly rescue as many people as possible, because it's just unclear. We don't even know how many people were in the building at the time.
Yeah.
And again, this was as most people would have been sleeping.
Unbelievable. All right, Lionel, go to your news conference. I know we'll get the latest information from you throughout the day. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. See you later. ABC's Lionel Moise. So if you've seen, we've all seen the pictures of the, say, Miami Beach shoreline. I'm just trying to help you kind of form the image in your head. It's right on the water. It is a white 12-story condo building. And I heard that there are about 100 condos inside. And it just collapsed. One side of it, just gone. So imagine you're sleeping. And in the middle of the night, all of a sudden the rumble comes. We've all had the earthquake experience. And you are, I don't know if you've had, I've had the Napa one, middle of the night, in my bed, all of a sudden everything starts shaking. And my immediate thought was, oh my God, world's ending. It was so violent. And that was an earthquake. This is your building collapsing. Imagine you're the guy on the 12th story. You hope those people are okay. Honestly, though, I can't believe that they have only confirmed one person is dead. And I'm sorry to be so doom and gloom about it, but I can't imagine how anybody could survive that if you were on any of the floors that fell. Not just the 12, any of the stories that fell. But, that's why we pray. Or whatever you do. Fingers crossed, whatever. That's why we do it. All right, let's get back to some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer has repeated her message about people sticking to COVID-19 safety protocols when working or going to events indoors. She says the highly infectious Delta variant is spreading locally and nationally, especially in unvaccinated people. Ferrer says it's now estimated to have caused 20% of the cases across the U.S., so she recommends people should take sensible public health precautions like masking up. The FDA says it's finalizing a warning label for Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines that says the shots could cause heart problems.
The warnings will pertain to healthcare providers, vaccine recipients, and caregivers, according to the FDA, and will likely include a statement flagging rare but sometimes serious cases of myocarditis in some recipients.
ABC's Mark Remillard says a CDC advisory panel has determined that there is a likely association between the shots and the inflammatory heart condition. The CDC says most of its reported cases were mild. Well, the LA County Sheriff has criticized leaders in the city and county for the growing homeless encampment in Venice. Sheriff Villanueva sent a letter to the Board of Supervisors asking for the declaration of a local emergency.
I'm going to be sending another letter we're crafting right now to Mayor Garcetti, telling him to unhandcuff the LAPD. Let them do their job.
Villanueva has called the mayor and the board and the LA City Council architects of failure. Remember when I said I had a little public service announcement for people like me who aren't very good at, I'm speed limit challenged. I know that I see the sign that has the speed limit on it, and my brain and my foot don't work together. It's not a good thing. It's a problem. I'm recognizing my problem. Well, the CHP will partner with nearly a dozen other state highway patrols and police agencies to stop speeding drivers like me this weekend. The Western States Traffic Safety Coalition will be on the lookout for speeding drivers starting tomorrow. The agency says more than 500 people were killed and nearly 60,000 crashes were hurt. People were hurt in crashes caused by speeding last year, and that's the part that's not funny. I know it's wrong, and if I catch myself doing it, yeah, I slow down. But, honestly, every time I've gotten a speeding ticket, I've thought to myself, you completely deserve this. And then you do start to think about what your speeding could actually do. Nevada, Arizona, and Washington are among the states participating in the campaign. All right, we come back. Did you hear this crazy story about John McAfee, the tech entrepreneur? So he's been in a prison in Barcelona. While he was in prison in Barcelona yesterday, he was told, hey, you're going to be extradited back to the U.S. on tax evasion charges. He hears the ruling, taken back to his cell. A few hours later, he's dead in that cell. What happened? We'll talk with ABC's Tom Rivers in just a few minutes. But right now, let's take a look at a crash on the 101.
At Rampart, car hit the right shoulder wall and kind of spun around here. Not sure what lane is blocked, and there may be some other cars involved. It's kind of unclear right now, but injuries are involved. The right lane, possibly. Heavy traffic from Glendale Boulevard, and LAFD having a little trouble getting there through that heavy traffic. Downtown Los Angeles, 101 North at Spring. That's a wreck that has the off-ramp shut down. Emergency crews are there on scene already. In Claremont, multiple cars collided here on the 210 westbound just before Baseline. They're on the right shoulder, and they're looking at some backup here at Mountain. Moreno Valley on the 215 northbound just before Eastridge. Car facing the wrong way in the middle traffic lane with some heavy traffic from Alessandro. At West Covina, it's a work zone on the 10 eastbound between Pacific and Glendora Avenue. 3 left lanes are closed for road work until 6, so a little while longer for that project. KFI in the Sky helps get you faster. I'm Robin Dennis.
This report is sponsored by Mercury Insurance. Californians save an average of $677 with Mercury Insurance. Think of all the ways you can put that money to use right now. And then head over to mercuryinsurance.com to get a free quote to see how much you could save. That's mercuryinsurance.com.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
Trae Young shimmied the Hawks past the Bucks in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Ice Trae led Atlanta with a 48-point double-double. Clippers big man DeMarcus Cousins was issued a technical foul nearly 15 hours after Game 2 for shoving Devin Booker. Game 3 is tonight in L.A. And Trevor Bauer struck out 10, but the Dodgers were swept by the Padres. It's the first time True Blue has been swept at Petco Park since 2010. I'm Misty Jordan.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Every time the sun shines in Southern California, which is all the time, I remember how much money I saved thanks to SolarMax technology.
How much have you saved since you switched?
Let's just say that my energy bills are so low now that I am no longer the thermostat warrior in my house. My AC is practically free.
Your family must be thrilled.
Oh yeah, the family's thrilled. Listen, I'm thrilled. I have saved with no upfront cost. SolarMax does everything themselves right here in Southern California, and that means exceptional quality control and no middleman.
Right now, get SolarMax for only $69.98 a month, which includes a solar panel system and home battery with an APR as low as 0.99%.
This offer will expire, though, on June 30th. Call pound 250 from your cell phone and say the keyword SolarMax. That's pound 250 SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com, solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit, CSLB number 97204.
Rick Edelman, award-winning radio host and founder of Edelman Financial Engines, takes questions on his radio show. Let's hear his advice on annuities.
Hey, Rick, I'm looking for a good investment. Should I consider a fixed annuity?
Well, fixed annuities aren't really investments. They're insurance products. You'll get a fixed rate of return from them, but it might not be enough to offset taxes and inflation. Most annuity contracts require you to keep the money there for 5 to 10 years, and if you're under age 59 and a half, any withdrawals are subject to a 10% IRS penalty. You should talk, therefore, to a fee-based financial advisor to see if an annuity is right for you, not someone who makes a living earning commissions selling annuities. You want a fiduciary who puts your best interests first.
If you're looking for a trusted partner who's got your back, talk to one of our experienced financial planners by calling 888-PLAN-RICH or visit richedelman.com.
Before I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I was an angry young man. Hello, I'm John McClan. I was angry because my dad died when I was 17 and he left me alone. I was angry because I couldn't go to college with my friends and because I had to drop out of high school. It's not a pleasant story. But as I grew older, I also grew up. I realized that my dad didn't leave me alone. He left me with values and principles that continue to shape my life. Dad said, be on time. He didn't like it when people were late. He taught me to be polite. It was something I lost, but recaptured along the way. And he taught me to keep my promises, because broken promises lead to broken relationships. We teach and keep these values at Rooter Hero Plumbing. I think we have a pretty good company. I know we have great people. And if one of our heroes fails to live up to these values, please call me. My private number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com. Thank you.
102-86. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, it's Johnny Ken. There's only one app where you can find your favorite radio stations like KFI AM 640 or your favorite music stations and hundreds of thousands of podcasts anywhere you are and anytime you want. It's the free iHeart app.
Yeah, and this week it's all about true crime podcasts, from Crime Junkie to Dateline.
Or binge captivating series like Exit Scam or The Devil Within. True Crime Podcast Week is here.
Ready, set, start listening only on the free iHeart app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app. There was a daddy longlegs in the tub, and he's screaming. He wants me to come. I'm like, what?
Get it, get it.
Come on, really?
Yeah, what's wrong with this guy?
Spiders I hate so much, I make sure they're extra smush.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
Trying to make sure they don't reincarnate and come back.
On KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome to a very busy Thursday morning. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. Some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Hundreds of emergency responders are at the site of a partial condo building collapse in Miami Beach. Authorities say at least one person has been killed. We understand that a news conference is going to happen a little bit later this morning, maybe even in the next 5-10 minutes. If that does happen during Wake Up Call, I'll bring it to you live. And Britney Spears has asked a judge in L.A. to end a conservatorship that she called abusing and demoralizing. Spears wants out of the 13-year-old conservatorship, which puts her dad and Bessemer Trust Company in charge of her personal and professional affairs. Right now, let's say good morning to ABC's Tom Rivers. So, Tom, John McAfee, his story for a long time has been a bit of something I think that a movie writer would love to get their hands on. But most recently, John McAfee was in a prison in Barcelona, and it was yesterday that he found out that he would be extradited to the U.S. on tax evasion charges, and that's where everything sort of seemed to blow up.
Exactly, and you're absolutely right. Just hours after that decision by Spanish judges to say, okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to extradite you to the U.S. tax evasion charges. Found dead in his cell near Barcelona. Lombard, a lot of questions immediately, as you can well imagine, on social media. An investigation team from the Spanish government went down there They said they found nothing that would point to any quote-unquote criminal activity. He was found hanging in his cell. His lawyer, though, says, look, one question that they have right now is, was there any video cameras there? You don't have an answer yet on that one. But you're absolutely right. This is a rumble and rumble. Social media right now rife with theories and rumors. And they say there could be some information forthcoming that they wanted to hold back on. Who knows? Watch the space on that.
What was he in prison in Barcelona for?
He was at Barcelona airport, wanted to fly out, I believe, to Istanbul. And yes, there was this U.S. extradition warrant out there. Authorities said, no, you can't get on the plane. That was in October. So he's been sitting in prison since then, awaiting a decision by the judges there in Spain. They finally made their decision. And then yesterday afternoon, local time here, the story broke that yes, in fact, he died, found in a cell.
Okay, and for people who are saying, why do I know that name? Why do I know that name? So, tech entrepreneur, he's the guy who I think could be argued to have one of the most used virus protection programs worldwide. If you look at, you've got McAfee antivirus software on probably some computer that you're using at this point. So that's where you've probably seen the name on a daily basis.
Yeah, exactly. And that's out there and has been out there for a long time. I think he developed in the mid-'80s and then sold it in the early '90s and then elevated himself to billionaire status thereafter. And he's got his fingers in a bunch of different pies, into yoga, herbal medicines, ultralight flying devices, all those kinds of things. Also cryptocurrency. He's kind of pitching that.
Yeah.
Toward the end. But yeah, so he was kind of out there, and as you said at the very top, I suppose somebody's working on it right now. Yeah, his life is going to make a very interesting movie somewhere down the road.
Absolutely. All right, thanks for the update, Tom. I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right, see you later. That is ABC's Tom Rivers. I was going through kind of the final, chapter in John McAfee's life, and on Yahoo News, they sort of laid out what happened, and they said it was actually in 2012 that you could tell that things were starting to unravel for John McAfee. He went on the run in Belize. He was arrested in Guatemala after his neighbor was found dead. Cops there described him as a person of interest, but, as Yahoo put it, somehow he managed to wiggle free. And then you also had it was 2008, by the way, that he moved to Belize. 2012, there was somebody, I guess, murdered in his home. And he said, I guess this was maybe a neighbor. And the neighbor and he had gotten into a fight over McAfee's dogs that he believed the neighbor had poisoned. Then, at the time, apparently he was living with a 17-year-old girl at the home, and police found a large number of weapons there. So that's when they caught up with McAfee in Guatemala, and many thought, he'd be tried for the neighbor's murder. But within a week, he was released and allowed to fly to Miami, a free man. And then, kind of for the last few years, you've had the neighbor's murder hanging over McAfee's head, and then the tax evasion trouble, and then he's finally captured at an airport in Barcelona, where he's been waiting for word on this extradition back to the U.S. on the tax evasion charges. That answer comes down yesterday, and within hours, he's dead in his cell. But Tom brought up a great point. Where are the cameras? Was this guy not on suicide watch? If I don't know. I don't know how a Barcelona jail works. I don't know was he showing signs? Did he seem squirrely inside the prison where they thought, hey, we've got to have this guy under suicide watch? So many questions on that part of it. But immediately, because I thought, okay, hung in the cell, I thought Epstein, right? And you just wonder, how do these high-profile guys end up taking their own lives in their prison cells? How does this happen? if they are so high profile, shouldn't the prison be watching them extra carefully? Even if they didn't have tendencies or, they weren't showing signs of suicide, but wouldn't you watch them extra just because of their notoriety? I don't know. That's why I don't run a prison. Well, an investigation has found Governor Newsom misled the public on California's wildfire prevention efforts and has left the state unprepared for dangers to come. The investigation by Cap Radio and NPR found Newsom severely overstated the work done on 35 priority projects. Newsom claimed the Department of Forestry and Fire Protection accomplished work on 90,000 acres throughout hundreds of vulnerable communities, but researchers have found just 13% of that figure had actually been completed. And I don't know if you heard about Blink-182's Mark Hoppus. He went on social media yesterday and revealed he's been battling cancer. He says, for the past 3 months, I've been undergoing chemotherapy for cancer. I have cancer. It sucks. And I'm scared. At the same time, I'm blessed with incredible doctors and family and friends to get me through this. He continued, I still have months of treatment ahead of me, but I'm trying to remain hopeful and positive. Can't wait to be cancer-free and see you all at a concert in the near future. Love to you all. Obviously, fans really quickly reacted and, showed their support and love for the guy. And so, nothing but positive vibes heading his way. So good luck to you. All right, we come back. We'll talk with ABC's Jason Nathanson. I want to get into what Britney Spears said yesterday. A lot of people are saying some of the revelations that she told the court were bombshells. I was shocked. I realized that this conservatorship had control of her personal and professional life, but when she started using words like traumatized and it was an abusive conservatorship, you kind of started hearing the what she had to do, the restrictions that were on her in this conservatorship, and you went, I personally felt like, wow, that went pretty far. But we'll talk with Jason and see if he got the same vibe. Right now, let's get back to your drive, and Robin Banks is taking a look at your drive on the 101.
There at the crash in Echo Park. It's on the 101 northbound just after Benton Way. The wreck in the 2 right lanes, now CHP on scene. You're looking at backup from the 110 freeway, so it's pretty solid from that point. Diamond Bar, 60 eastbound at Grand. It's a wreck with a big rig on the right shoulder. CHP's on scene, so, paying a little attention to that. Expect a slow spot through that stretch. Hacienda Heights on the 60 eastbound, just before Hacienda Boulevard. Wreck with a big rig on the right shoulder as well. Valencia on the southbound 5 at Valencia Boulevard. 2-car crash, mostly right shoulder, a little bit of the right lane taken up also. In Yucaipa on the 10 eastbound, just before Yucaipa Boulevard, just hearing about a stalled car in the right lane. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
Don't wait for the furniture of your dreams. Get it today during Court Furniture Outlet's annual Independence Day sale, where all furniture is in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Court Furniture prices are always super low because they lease their furniture for use in model homes, movies, and television by home stagers and corporate offices. And when the furniture comes back, they sell it for pennies on the dollar. Now save even more on an incredible selection of new and used home and office furniture. New upholstery sets in several styles and colors, including leather sectionals, special buys on mattress sets and commercial office chairs from just $49, plus great deals on so much more and all in stock. Come and see why Court has been the secret destination for families, designers, and business professionals for over 40 years. And let Court's friendly furniture consultants help you find everything you need to live and work in comfort and style. Visit our locations in Glendale on Central, in Corona at the 91 and McKinley, and now Fountain Valley at Euclid and the 405, or go to CORTFurnitureOutlet.com.
SoCal weather from KFI will continue this cooling trend, we'll call it, this week. So today, highs will just be in the very low 70s to about the mid-80s, but starting tomorrow and into the weekend, highs will climb back into the mid-90s. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Not to be a backseat driver, but if you need to hire great people fast, you need Indeed. Sponsor a job, and you'll immediately get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. More at Indeed.com/credit.
Well, when the temps do climb into the mid-90s, like I said they would this weekend, you know you're going to start drinking and using more water at home, right? But don't reach for a plastic water bottle. Don't be bad. Don't hurt the environment. Just refresh with filtered water coming straight out of any tap in your home. with your new LifeSource Whole House Water System. A LifeSource Whole House Water System is going to reduce the odor and taste of chlorine from your water without using salt or chemicals. You'll be bathing and showering without the drying effects of chlorine on your skin and hair. And we all know in the summertime, you're out and about more, your skin and hair starts to dry out more. Anything you can do to help that is wonderful. So this is a thank you that you're going to get from your skin and hair for your LifeSource Whole House Water System. And with the LifeSource Water System, every faucet is a convenient place to get clean, delicious water. And the Whole House systems are maintenance-free. So if you have hard water, they have a solution. And on top of it, you get to say goodbye to all those filter changes. And with the LifeSource Water System, you're buying directly from the factory, and all the products are made in the USA. And now in celebration of the 4th of July, LifeSource Water will pay your sales tax. You can take advantage of huge savings and experience filtered water for your entire home. But the offer ends soon, so act today. Call LifeSource today and get full service and full confidence in your water. Call them at 1-800-334-5009, 1-800-334-5009, or visit lifesourcewater.com. LifeSource Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Your kitchen sink is clogged, so you call a handyman. He pulls up in an old dented truck, but that's okay, because he's cheap. He tracks mud, or what looks like mud, across your carpet, but that's okay, because he's cheap. He puts his dirty tools on your kitchen counter where you prepare food, but that's okay, because he's cheap. Hello, I'm John Aquan, owner of Rooter Hero Plumbing. We can clean that same drain for only $77. And we'll treat your home like it's your castle, because it is. Rooter Hero will clean your drain, treat you like a king or queen, and we'll do it for only $77. That's how we came up with our phone number, 866-DRAIN-77. And here's my promise to you. If Rooter Hero doesn't live up to your expectations, then call me. 866-DRAIN-77. My personal cell phone number is on every business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com.
CL 102-8886.
Let me be straight with you. This is a radio commercial for 3 Small Business Insurance. The policy has no fine print. It's clear what's covered. So while you can't see the following scene, just know that this pet store is protected by 3.
Joe, did you leave the snake tank open?
Look, I don't want to point fingers, but yes.
Sorry, sir.
I'm calling my lawyer.
They're going to need some help with this mess. Luckily, they have 3. No fine print, just exceptional coverage. 3 is a product of Berkshire Hathaway Direct Insurance Company. 3, no nonsense, just common sense.
Go solar with local and veteran-owned Semper Solaris. Visit sempersolaris.com.
Live,
KFI,
local,
AM 640.
and iHeart radio station.
So many details coming out in court yesterday from Britney Spears herself on her conservatorship. I'll get you the latest on that with Jason Nathanson in just a second. But I want to also update you on the top story that we're following on this wake-up call. The mayor of Surfside, Florida says he's in shock after a condo tower collapsed, killing at least one person. Mayor Charles Burkett said this morning it's a horrific catastrophe. In the U.S., buildings just don't fall down. He said it looks like a bomb went off. Surfside's just a few miles north of Miami Beach. The 12-story condo tower was built in 1981, had more than 100 units. A news conference is expected at any minute. Hopefully we'll get more details on the collapse very soon. But let's get the details now on what went down in court yesterday. Pop star Britney Spears addressed a judge in L.A. about the conservatorship that has controlled her personal and professional life for the past 13 years. Jason Nathanson, good morning to you. I don't know if you were as shocked as I was by the terms of the conservatorship. I felt like it went way beyond what I thought was in a conservatorship.
I've covered a lot of court stuff over the years involving celebrities, and I've never heard anything like this, like what we heard from Britney Spears yesterday on that call. She unleashed in this hearing, the hearing that she basically called because she wanted to address the judge because she had issues about this conservatorship, which she says controls her life. And we knew that this conservatorship, which her dad is co-conservator, and there's been various other conservators along with him as well, and we knew it had control over her personal life and her finances. That's the way it was set up 13 years ago when she needed it, but the degree with which it controls her life, down to her birth control, she says,
She says that she would love to get married and have a child with her boyfriend, but her choices are being restricted when it comes to birth control by the conservatorship. They have that much control. They've drugged her, put her on lithium, not necessarily against her will, but she didn't know what was going on. All of this stuff coming out, and she just poured out of her for almost 30 minutes yesterday, uninterrupted.
Was there at any point did Britney Spears say, back in 2008 when my dad took over this conservatorship, I needed it. I needed the help, but now I'm good. I'm better. And I don't want him to control my life. Did it go that direction?
The second part, not the first part. She didn't address the reasons for it and why it happened and whether or not it helped her 13 years ago, but she did say that now she wants it to end. And she also said she had no idea that she could ask for it to end. She said, she didn't know if she was ignorant or whatever. And she apologized to the judge, but said she was not aware that she could ask for it to end, and that's why she found that out, and that's why she's doing it now. It seems mostly that a lot of her problems have come in the past 2 years, specifically when her dad was, there were some changes in the conservatorship. There was somebody else who was co-conservator with her father, and he left, and now another co-conservator took over. And that's when really kind of a lot of these problems that she referenced have come into light. But she did not know that she could end the conservatorship, so that's what she was asking for from the judge. And that's going to be not a quick process. There has to be filings and hearings and all these kinds of things just to end a conservatorship. Is a very hard thing to do. So it's not like this is just going to go away overnight.
Okay, I think the thing that when I was reading the verbatim of her testimony yesterday, I thought to myself, who the hell is her attorney? How did she not know that she could end her conservatorship? How did an attorney not fight for her to, if she didn't want to be on birth control, not be on birth control? Or when she found out she was on lithium, not to be on lithium? Who was fighting for her?
That's one of the things that she addressed in there, is that she did not have her own attorney, and she wants her own attorney now. That either, I was a little confused by this, but the attorney that she had was either appointed by the conservatorship or by the court itself, but it wasn't a choice that she made. And that's what she was saying, that she didn't have choices when it came to the therapy that she was getting, when it came to the drugs that she was on, when it came to the business decisions and the things that she wanted to do. She didn't have control over any of those things. So one of the things that she asked the court, and that her mother's lawyer actually asked that they put in place immediately, is the fact that she'd be allowed to get her own counsel. Counsel that represents her, that she chose, that can give her the information that she needs, like the fact that she could have petitioned to end this conservatorship whenever she wanted.
Yeah, and to me that feels like the only fair